Welcome to our 13th short tips and tricks webinar on Tuesday, the 2nd of February 2021. My name is Sebastian Bode, and as always, I would like to welcome all participants from all over the world to the third episode of the Tips and Tricks webinars. After we had the pleasure of informing you with a successful digital roadshow in autumn and the digital format of the Fair BAU in January, we are now continuing with our webinars. A lot of great information is waiting for you every 2 weeks, some of it familiar, but also many new things. Today, of course, my colleagues Claudius and Dirk from our service office in Bautzen and from home office will be with us again. Welcome also to you. And with this, I want to briefly go into some webinar basics. The colleagues, Dirk and Claudius, are ready to answer all your questions directly. But how does that work? No matter which device you use, you will find the option to send us questions directly in the GoToWebinar tool, which we will answer then directly back to you. Important is that we do not communicate with you publicly, but only privately. We will stay after the webinar until we have answered all your questions. We will then only switch off the microphones, but will still be available via chat and question window. This webinar will also be recorded and, as always, uploaded to various platforms. These include our help page, help.orgadata.com, our YouTube and Vimeo channel. And with this, now I want to go into the topic of today. But today, we do not start with LogiKal, we start on our help page. And we start with the free updates that are available to you, and that is really important. Because on this way, we provide you with new functions and small changes on a permanent basis. The content of the updates is, of course, always a topic in my webinars, but unfortunately, this does not always work out as quickly as the update is available for you. For this, we have recently introduced a great new option that does just that to you. Here on the help page, you can find the changelog. Where is it? Here. The changelog shows you all the changes that have been made in the last update. Here, the version 11.4.35.32. It's a real practical thing. So take a look at that and be always up to date. Now, I want to continue with LogiKal. And for today, I've picked out the topic curtain walls. With the curtain wall, we start as you know it. We create a new position. We give the position a brief description and then take out the profile system and then start. We start to create the geometry of this curtain wall. And with a simple input here, I have nothing more to say about that. Now, it looks really like a curtain wall, but the geometry often depends on many other factors. These include the floor slabs and, of course, also the height of the finished floor. Of course, such factors can be taken into account only mathematically, but there's more safety if these factors are also taken into account here in LogiKal. And that, of course, is exactly what can be done very easy. I would suggest that we simply start by adjusting the finished floor line. Here we can adjust it, the finished floor, in relation to the curtain wall. The client's wish is that the transom disappears completely into the floor. Because we know that the profiles are 50 millimeters wide, we simply enter here 50 millimeters. Always remember here that we are moving the finished floor line in relation to the curtain wall, not the curtain wall itself. That's very, very important. Before I finish the setting here, I would like to say also a few words for the other possibility here. Normally, the finished floor line on the ground floor is usually 0.0 meters of the building. But however, if there's an offset in the building or the curtain wall is not in the first floor, in the base floor, but also is in the second floor, then this can sometimes deviate. Therefore, you have the option here to set the true height of the curtain wall on the building so that the height quotients for the later check really fit. That makes it easier for you, for the installation on the building site, and also for the planner and architect. And with this, we confirm it and go to the next step. The result you see here. And as said before, that not only the height of the finished floor line has an influence on the geometry of the curtain wall, but also any existing floor slabs. In order to increase your construction safety, it is of course very practical if these are also taken into account here. Therefore, you have here the function. You can give them the description as you want it. We take here at first the base slab and take here the dimension from the zero level, from the finished floor line. And you can add here so much as you want. So we take here the first slab and then also the second slab. So also here the dimension directly out of the drawings of the architect. Yeah, we accept that and see here the result. I think this is really great because you see here directly if the curtain wall really fits to the different slabs. And yeah, when we take a look here, it really fits. And when we then go into the next step, the basic framework of this curtain wall is directly finished. The magic word are here, the individual system preferences. On the basis of this system preferences, LogiKal finishes the curtain wall as far as it can, and you see it here till the end. We can finish the position now. Of course, you can define these preferences globally for your entire company, but also specifically for individual departments or projects. Since I've already dealt with this topic many times, I do not want to go into that any further here. But if you have questions, please answer my colleagues now or me at the end of the webinar. But no matter how much LogiKal takes off your hands, you still have every time the possibility to adjust the individual things. This includes also the mullion configuration. In this case, we want to change the cover shield. Here, you have access to the many different profiles of your profile supplier. If this is too much for you, there's of course also the possibility to sort the possible profiles. Simply set them with a right click here and add it to your favorites. Then you have your favorites here at the top of the list. A very great and better overview exactly for you. And if you don't agree with your colleagues on this, the favorites are special for you and your colleagues can simply create your own favorites here. With this, the mullion is finished now. And yeah, if you have changed only the first mullion and you want to bring this change also on other mullions, you do not have to do it again. You can simply copy here the whole profile configuration, and insert it on every mullion you want. We do it on every second, and you see it here directly in the section. On this way, this takes not only the profiles, this takes also the machinings, this takes also the profile connections, extensions, mullion splices, everything you need here. Also material packages, everything is copied to the other mullion. So a very easy way to bring the configuration of one mullion on the others. If you do not like the right-clicking functions, you can find this function also here on the left side. And then click on it and it works as you had seen it before. When we are here on the subject of the function bar on the left side, that brings me directly to a small addition here. I am a fan of having a very big overview as possible. Since not everyone necessarily needs all the function you see on the left side, you can easily define the function you need and you want to use. For this, simply uncheck you don't want to use here, as an example, U value or the position of the position ventilator, and they are away, and you have a better overview here. And also this is only for you, as you know, for the reports and not for your whole company. So you can do it individual for your own needs. With this, we come to the next topic. And the next topic is about curtain wall inserts. As you surely know, with LogiKal, you can construct inserts directly into the curtain wall, regardless of the profile supplier. You have the possibility to take an insert directly from your own individual library, but also you can construct it directly here. And this is what we want to do now. I'm sure that you know that you can here take the system you want to use. But in this window, there are two more functions which I want to explain to you today. The first is here the insertion description. That's really practical because you can take the automatic insertion description, then it is a normal position number, or you take here in free. You can be uncreative as I am and call it only door, or you give them a real good name that also for big curtain walls, you have the possibility to know at every time which insert should be where installed. So it's a very great possibility because the insertion description you see on every report, on the assembly list, and so on and so on. You have a very great overview. The second function here in this window is here. When you check this box, you have the possibility to remove the lower transom. It is important, if you want to remove the lower transom, that you do it with this checkbox and not here with the possibilities in the grid, input of the grid of LogiKal. When you remove the lower transom, then this is the point where exactly the circle closes with the set of the height of the finished floor line. Because usually the lower edge of the threshold of a door is on the finished floor line. And so you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about the needed height of the insertion. LogiKal does that for you. With this, if you set the right finished floor line, you kill two birds with one stone. All the height values of the curtain wall are directly correct, and the door immediately has the right height. And yeah, if you want to keep the bottom transom after all, the top edge of the transom is of course also the bottom edge of the door. So you have all the possibilities and everything is very easy. And LogiKal takes, you know it, as much work of your hands as possible. The input of the door then runs as you know it. It's the familiar input of elements you know from LogiKal and use it every day, so it's nothing new for you. But and you have one thing here to know, because LogiKal proves if the clamping thickness of the door matches to the glass thickness of the curtain wall. And if this does not match, you get here information. We keep that in mind, accept that. Yeah, take very fast the hardware here out of the project hardware configuration. LogiKal proves the hardware, and we are finished with the insert. And now we come back to the warning we get a minute ago. We see that here, LogiKal cannot get the right seal here because the glazing thickness does not match to the clamping thickness of the door. Therefore, we have to change here the profile, or we have to change the glass thickness. And that is what we want to do now. We change the glass thickness. The insulators are changed. And when we take then a deeper look here again, we see here that LogiKal can take automatically the right seal you need for this clamping thickness. So also here, if it fits, LogiKal makes everything automatically for you. At this point, I could show you many more things about construction of curtain walls. But when I take a look on the clock, the time runs out. And before we run completely out of time, I want to give you one more hint at this point. Entering the door directly into the curtain wall is of course a really nice thing, because the change in the dimension of the curtain wall have a direct effect on the insert. So nothing can be forgotten there. However, the insert may also need to be displayed separately on one or the other printout, such as the position plan or the quotation. And of course, this is not an issue either. To get this, we start at first with a setting here in the project center. Therefore, we check this box, insertions separately. Okay, the settings are saved and we see directly here the result. So we have the curtain wall, we have the inserts as, you see 2 positions, but they are connected. So when we take a look here in the door, if you want to change something, you can go directly into the door, but you cannot change the dimension because the dimensions are directly from the curtain wall. Okay, we see it now, separately positions here in the project center, but the wish was that the insert should also be displayed separately on the reports. Therefore, we go here into the settings for the report. I've prepared a special estimation report. So because that we have more possibilities here in the settings, then we take a look here in the database settings. And there you have to set this one, apply project center settings. Save this, close this, everything is fine here. And then, nothing more to do, just taking a look here on the estimation report. LogiKal calculates every time. When LogiKal gives you the report, LogiKal calculates it every time. So this takes a little time here, but then you see here the result. First, the position curtain wall, and then the insertion door as 2 positions with 2 prices. And this, what you see here on the estimation report, is also possible on all the other possible reports in LogiKal. And with this, you have the safetiness and the flexibility for everything you need. And with this, we are at the end of our 20 minutes today. But nevertheless, just before the end, I would like to give you a brief preview of the next time. Next time, we want to talk about the topic glazing. The topic glazing was often in different webinars, but the next time I want to bring everything you have to know together in one webinar. Be curious, and if you haven't done it yet, register directly via our homepage. Last but not least, the usual final note. If you have further interest, you can simply take part in the following survey and we will get back to you. And with this, let's rock the week together. Stay healthy. Until then, bye.